was something I've been working on for a while to take up my Monday, Tuesdays. And hopefully I can keep doing them. So, we're at the end of that list there. As bad as most people think, just to recap, is it as bad as most people think? No. It's never been as, I mean, it probably was at one point. Stereotypes aren't made out of just straight falsities. Made out of lies. They're based in truth, stereotypes are. So prison at one point probably was as bad as that. Those movies, like I said, are probably based in some kind of fact. Especially when prisons first started and they were made to be just straight punishment, right? So, as bad as most people think nowadays, no. COVID cases, what is our prisons doing about it? Nothing's really changed. I know the facilities that do catch it are completely locked down, no movements, nothing. They're just straight, like, ghost towns. Everybody's locked down. Releasing offenders, I didn't have a lot of information on that. Sorry. I gave you what I thought what they were doing. Secret communications between offenders and staff. We watch it. We try to stop it, or at least intercept it because it's good intelligence. Can give us a lot of insight to how the gangs are running, who's heading the gangs, who's pushing the most drugs in prison. Gives us a lot of intel to find secret communications. Between staff, it's pretty much radio talk. When can me and another officer talk privately? We do have offices we can go into, but some of these guys are absolutely just pros at reading your lips. Like, there's an offender in my unit who you can literally not voice anything you're saying, like out loud, just mouth it. However fast, slow, weird you want to do it, and he'll catch it. Like, he's that good. Morale and outside activities. Get outside. Do something not related to the prison in any way. That, get your mind off of it. Especially if you work in a prison where it's stressful. This is a very stressful job. There have been really rough days for me in just over 2 years. And I'm sure people, officers and veterans with any more than me, honestly, have all kinds of stories about their tough days. There are good days, though. There are more good days than bad, I would say. I do have a lot of fun at work. I really do love this career. And it's because of the people that you work with. You got a good crew, right? I love the guys that I work with and the females that I work with. They're awesome. We all get along. Nobody really dislikes each other. There's nobody that we would not respond for. You know what I mean? Like if anybody there was, getting beat up, we'd be there within, 30 seconds. That's just how we are. We watch out for each other. It's a real brotherhood. I didn't understand that, and I don't think you really ever can unless you're part of it. They say, law enforcement and all that is a brotherhood. It took me a while to really get the feel for that, but it is a brotherhood, and I am so glad to be a part of it. They're great people. Just awesome. So, morale, find yourself some friends, maybe. You can go hang outside of work. Just go out. Go see a movie or something, ride some bikes, do some mountain biking, skateboard if you're still young enough to do that. I am, but I'm not. Just kind of do whatever makes you happy. The prison life isn't that bad of a life, obviously, for an officer. Some of these offenders do have it pretty hard. Whether they belong there or not, it's not up to us, though. You have to remember, if you're a new officer, excuses are just that. They're excuses. Most of the time, they're not true. When these guys come up to you and say they need something because of this and that, You don't really have you don't gotta follow that. Don't worry about all those guys. So a little bit of a parting word. I'm sorry for the quality of this podcast. It was my first one. It's my first ever podcast I've ever done. My setup is kind of janky, not not pro podcast quality, but we're working on it. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope I gave you some insights that you may not have had before. Also, one other thing, these are expressively my opinions. Nobody else's. They don't reflect any Department of Corrections. They don't reflect anybody else's opinions but my own. So don't take that to wherever it say it's their policy. It's just me over here BSing about it all. If you guys enjoyed, please subscribe. I hope to be posting this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and it'll be on my Twitter at PODTIME PODCAST. It'll also be on YouTube. I still have to make a channel for that, but that one will still also be called PODTIME Podcasts. Subscribe, comment, questions that you have, DM me on Twitter, comment on the video on YouTube, whatever you got to do to get it to me. Send me some questions that you have, and I'll do my best to answer them. I'm going to try to have people on in later episodes. There was supposed to be somebody today, but they had to cancel. But that's fine, because we'll try to get somebody for the next one, and it won't just be me putting you to sleep. So thank you for listening. I really have enjoyed doing this so far. This 40 minutes of messing around, and then the 2 hours beforehand trying to get it set up. So I hope you enjoyed. I had a good time. I'm going to try to do this weekly. We'll see where that goes. But thank you for listening to the PodTime Podcast, and I'll see you guys next week.